So I had the pleasure, and my firm had the pleasure of being opposite you guys, representing the sellers of Kruger Gilbert, and which was a great transaction. You guys were great to work with. But what, as a buyer and the buyer's perspective, what did you find most rewarding? And on the contrary, what did you find most challenging during the transactional process?
What I found most rewarding was that someone would actually trust us with their business. Again, I mentioned very smart and capable people that had run a business for over 2.5 decades, had built it from nothing to being a multi-million-dollar business. That they had entrusted to people who, while smart, were on the lower end of capabilities and skill sets to actually run a business and run a medical physics business. And again, one of the things that we've learned in this 4 years, like you said, in running this business is you learn what you don't know, and it's a whole lot. I think our greatest asset is that there's a humility about what we don't know. We're not scared to sort of ask questions. We're not scared to be wrong. We're not scared to say there are other ideas in the room that may be valid. And so, it was really, comforting to know that someone trusted us, right? And that puts a huge responsibility. I mean, Mike talked about it. It's all your fault, right? So one of the things, obviously we took money from our investors, right? So there's a huge, obligation to them from a fiduciary perspective. There's also, again, we had significant others. We have families who, again, we have very stable and high-paying careers that we were on track for, and we kind of deviated, right? So there's a lot of family equity in us, making sure that we got to where we needed to be. And then there's employees and the people that sold us this business, right, and that are trusting us with their baby, trusting us with their livelihoods. This is their kids' college funds, their mortgages, and all these things. Our clients who need our service. This is not a nice to have. People have to have our physicist or physicists that they employ do these services, right? So there's a lot of people that are depending on the two of us to not screw it up. And when you look at it that way, I don't know if it made a lot of sense, but it's what happened. And we've taken that responsibility head on. What I think was the most challenging piece for us is that I think we still didn't fully appreciate, I would say, the emotional side of what it means to sell your business. I think I think we did a really good job of building a relationship, but I think at the end of the day, when you're an entrepreneur, and particularly if you're focused on buying someone's business, it could either be as a platform, or you started a business and now you're looking to go into expansion mode and you're going to buy a business. It's not about the dollars and cents, right? The terms and conditions in the document, the dollars and cents, and how they sort of weigh out in the grand scheme are not really what it's about. It's about the relationship. It's about the feelings. And I think that I've gained a lot of empathy. I've learned, again, I was a hard charging lawyer. I got what I wanted, right? And that's why I was able to, be pretty successful. But I think I had to learn that I could be right or I could be successful, right? I can be right or I can build a relationship. And I've started to get to a place where being right is not as important as being successful, or showing a proper respect or empathy, or, again, building a relationship. Because, again, you can't take right with you, but, those other things are more lasting and more long-term. And so I think I've gotten past the first order thinking, and now you kind of have to do it at the top of the organization. Is you have to think in second order. So you have to think of not what just happens immediately when I do this thing, but what is the follow-on to what I'm doing, and that's really where I try to live.